Okay, we'll go ahead and call to order the Wednesday, May 8th, 2024 regular meeting of the Sacramento Area Sewer District, Northern California Sanitation Agency's Financing Authority at 9:35 a.m. and ask for a roll call, please.
Good morning, Member Aquino.
Here.
Karpinski Costa.
Present.
Frost.
Here.
Kaplan.
Here.
Kennedy.
Here.
Orozco.
She is here.
Robles.
Here.
Tao.
Here.
Valenzuela. Here. Villegas.
Here.
And Hume.
Here.
And you do have a quorum.
Very good. Thank you. Would you join Director Aquino in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Now, do we have a clerk's statement?
This meeting of the Sacramento Area Sewer District is being broadcast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T U-verse cable systems. This meeting is closed captioned and live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting will replay Sunday, May 12th at 9 a.m. on Channel 14. This meeting can also be viewed at youtube.com/Metro Cable 14. In accordance with Government Code 54952.3, compensation for meeting of these legislative bodies is required to be verbally disclosed. The amount of $100 will be paid for each member participating today as a member of the Sacramento Area Sewer District. Compensation for Sacramento County Supervisors and City of Sacramento Council members is paid to the county and city respectively to partially offset the costs of those governments. Compensation for other board members is delivered to the individuals. To make an in-person public comment, please complete a speaker request form and hand it to the clerk. The chairperson will call your name when it is your turn to make a comment. You may also send written comments by email to boardclerk@saccounty.gov. Your comment will be routed to the board and filed in the record. And that concludes the announcement. And I will notate the arrival of Director Swen and Director Guerra.
Dr. Guerra is in the house.
It's been promoted.
And don't bother sitting down. We're going straight to closed session. So we'll go up to closed session in hearing room 1 and be back shortly. Okay, the members have returned from closed session, and as I understand it, there was nothing to report out. Just as a side note, the directors who are also members of the SAFCA board did sit this one out, as there would be an apparent conflict. Okay, with that, we move on to section 1 is the consent matters, items 1 through 7. Is there any director that wishes to discuss an item or have an item pulled?
I'll second.
All right, I have a motion from Director Villegas, a second from Director Kaplan. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed or anyone wanting to abstain? All right, carries unanimously. Do we have any public comment on the consent matter?
I did not receive any speaker requests.
Okay, thank you. And did I call for public comment on items not on the agenda?
It's next.
It's next?
Yes.
Well, that's a good time then to call for public comment on items not on the agenda. Is there anybody wishing to make a comment? No? Okay, then we'll go ahead and close that section. We'll move on to item 10, which is a public hearing.
Oh, actually, item number 9 is the miscellaneous
Then
director.
we'll
I'm
do
sorry
that
if my
item
notes
now.
are incorrect in your notes. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, Director Aquino.
I just wanted to thank the district for having a booth at Folsom's Earth Day celebration last month, particularly the 2 young ladies who staffed the booth for us. And I don't usually use the term fabulous to describe a plunger, but I have to say these pencils with the mini plungers on the end are my new favorite giveaway, and they are fabulous. So thank you.
Great. I'm hearing some board members request that they would like their own pencil plunger. Yeah, that's right. Speaking of booths, I will say that Walk on the Wild Side, I believe, is this weekend, and that is a fabulous event. If you can get a chance to come out to the town of Freeport, it's on sewer district property. It's a great opportunity to get out and walk on a piece of property that isn't normally available to the public. So with that, we'll go to district engineer matters, if you have anything, Christoph.
Nothing more than to say that we do have a board meeting in 2 weeks, so May 22nd, we will have that meeting. More human resource related items. So we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Great. Anything else? Any members of the public like to comment on any of the items that were raised? No? Okay, now we'll move on to item number 10, a public hearing.
Good morning, Chair and members of the board.
Good morning.
Mike Hewitt, Director of Policy and Planning. Last month, April 10th, your board director approved staff to take actions necessary to comply with legal requirements of enacting rate increases for next 3 years, effective the first one starting July 1st of this year. And your board also introduced amendments to the SAC Sewer Collection System Ordinance and the Treatment and Resource Recovery Ordinance to prepare for today's public hearing of the amended ordinances. Just a couple notes, one being the protest tallies. We did receive 121 protests for the collection system service area and 159 protests for the treatment and resource recovery service area. And we did not get any protests for the industrial customer class. That's well below the threshold of overturning the Prop 218 rate increase process, which requires a 50% plus one challenge or protest. So the other thing to note is on May 22nd, the next board meeting, we'll be bringing forward a Lifeline Rate Assistance Program amendments or adjustments that will help offset those rate increases for low-income residents. So stay tuned for that. And with that, I'll turn over to Director Hume to go through the public hearing process which includes opening and closing the comment period.
Thank you very much. And just out of redundancy to make sure we have the bases covered, I will read that we are adopting the ordinance amendments for Sacramento Area Sewer District Collection System Ordinance and Treatment and Resource Recovery Ordinance, including sewer rate increases. We have waived the full reading and continued this item from April 10th, 2024. And so now I'll go ahead and open the public hearing. I will close the public hearing and make a finding that the written protest received by the April 10th, 2024 hearing related to the...
One second.
Yes.
Just gotta make sure that there was no public comment.
There was none. There is no one signed up to speak on this item.
Is there anybody wishing to comment on this item? No? Okay, thank you for that. So then now we will make the finding that the written protest received by the April 10, 2024 hearing related to the proposed monthly sewer rate increase did not meet the threshold required by Article 13D of the California Constitution. We'll recognize the exempt status for CEQA requirements, the proposed changes, CEQA control numbers PLER 2024-00040 and PLER 2024-00041. And now we will look to adopt the collections ordinance amendments and the treatment ordinance amendments.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Kaplan, a second from Soon. Any further discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Anyone wishing to abstain? Motion carries unanimously.
Mr. Chair, can I ask a question? Just as a process matter, I just wondered if what staff does with the, obviously the protest letters did not meet the legal threshold, and I just wondered if as a courtesy, a response to those who took the time to write the letters, if we can inform them of what our next steps are as it relates to the Lifeline assistance programs or what other mechanisms that we might offer them.
We always refer them to the rate assistance program. Everyone who protests receives a postcard saying we received the protest. Anyone who has questions or more detailed information, we give them a customized response.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, on to item number 11, which is a budget workshop for Sacramento Area Sewer District for the fiscal year 2024-25 and the recommended budget.
And I'm going to say a few words, and then Becky Schaefer will be doing our presentation today. So just want to start off by saying this increase, this budget has a significant increase in it. It was anticipated, and that's why we just had the rate increase. So that increase covers the costs, but it's kind of a perfect storm. There have been several things that have come together. We all know about the just increased costs across the board from labor, services and supplies, construction, everything. That's one angle. The second one is that we've had the solids emergency out at the treatment plant, And I've termed it sort of a slow-moving emergency, but it is very costly, and it really is a result of the 2010 permit that we received from the state. Because by going to BNR, by building that new process, it is creating these solids that are different, ultimately causing us to have to increase our solids handling capability. The immediate cost is around $13-14 million a year. I think that's probably going to extend for a few years as we try to optimize the process and reduce those costs. So the future baseline is unknown. I'm hopeful that it will be less than that increase of 13 to 14 million, but it's certainly going to be higher than it was previously. So that's a big one. And the other one that we have is this transition as we move from county to district staffing. This is more of a one-time thing, probably over this fiscal year, this current fiscal year, and the fiscal year we're talking about for the budget, which is 24-25. We have a number of things where the county is providing us services. We are trying to build the capacity to do those services, and that costs some money in terms of consultants and contractors to help us out. And there's going to be this kind of an overlap period where we're both paying allocated costs to the county and we're incurring additional cost as a district. I believe that is a one-time, but it is significant. It is going to hit in it is going to hit in the budget year that we're talking about today. So I just want to give that as the backdrop. And then, Becky, if you want to come on down.
Nope.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair and members of the board. Before we begin, can everyone hear me? Okay, sometimes it hasn't worked out so great. So, my name is Becky Schaefer, Senior Administrative Analyst and Budget Manager for the Sacramento Area Sewer District, for which I will be referring to as SAC Sewer for the rest of this presentation. I will now be presenting the fiscal year 24-25 budget for SAC Sewer. This budget will reflect the combination of operational and capital budgetary requirements for both districts, previously referred to as Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District, now Treatment and Resource Recovery, and the Sacramento Area. Something happened with my mic. Okay. And the Sacramento Area Sewer District, now Collection System, in the budget book presented this year. Previously, we had two presentations, one for Regional SAN and one for SASD. Now that we are one district, this slide represents the combination of both. The combined recommended operating budget is approximately $314.4 million and reflects an increase of roughly $9 million or 9.6% over the current year's budget. Salaries and benefits increased $3.8 million or 7.9% increase over the current year's budget. These costs are primarily due to cost of living adjustments of 3.3%, equity adjustments, and new positions. The remaining cost increases are reflected in retirement, health insurance, and Social Security. Position counts include 9 new positions for operational needs from the current year's budget. Services and supplies reflect an overall increase of roughly $27.3 million and consist of the following primary drivers: supplemental biosolids disposal services consisting of refuse, biosolids disposal, and sewage disposal services, reflecting an increase of approximately $14.3 million combined over the last year's budget. Temporary services reflect an increase of $5 million for the Staffing Services Initiative to obtain positions which are necessary for the operating needs of Sac Sewer as we separate from the county. Insurance increased approximately $1.7 million, due in large part to the new Echo Water facilities. Chemical supplies decreased approximately $1 million with the completion of the Echo Water project. Sac Sewer's capital budget is approximately $562 million and reflects an increase of roughly $159.7 million from the current year's budget. The capital budget includes projects and debt service for both treatment and resource recovery, as well as the collection system. The next slide will list some of the major projects that are included in the capital budget. A few of the top capital projects for fiscal year 24-25 are the Harvest Water Project at $234 million, the biogeneration facility at $67.5 million, the Upper Dry Creek Interceptor Relief Program at $14.8 million, the septic conversion projects at $25.5 million, consisting of 4 areas: Hood, Florentown, Franklin, and Linda Manor. The Rio Consumnes Correctional Center Pump Station Rehab Project at $8.5 million. The financing sources for Sac Sewer consist primarily of the following and are reflective of both treatment and resource recovery, as well as the collection system combined. Monthly service charges of roughly $455.7 million, impact fees of approximately $32.5 million, interfund offsetting revenues between treatment and resource recovery and collection system are approximately $26 million. Other revenue, including revenue from interest income and grant funding of roughly $127 million. Bond loan proceeds derived from treatment and resource recovery of $218 million, and unreserved cash from the collection system of $17.2 million, bringing us to total financing source dollars of roughly $876.4 million for operating and capital uses. Do you have any questions for us?
Are there any questions at this point? No. Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Director Kaplan changed her mind.
Okay.
It's her prerogative.
I did, just because I might be on budget overload, because that's what we were talking about for many hours yesterday in Sacramento City. What are you seeing as the percentage cost for retirement and insurance? Because we're seeing huge costs at the city level of increase, as well as IT for protections within your system from hacking. Have you tracked what percentage those are going up out years? Because that's not necessarily kind of a cost recovery thing, but it is where those impacts. I mean, over 4 years in Sacramento, there's a 30% increase in retirement costs. So, curiosity.
I'm going to defer this to Christopher Teppa.
So I would have to get an exact number from Eric Stern at SCRS, but I am not aware of a significant increase this year for SCRS, the percentage that we are contributing. There is as we move from the county pool of SCRS into our own separate Sac Sewer pool of SCRS, there will be a little bit of an adjustment of the employer pickup versus the employee pickup, so that we are making sure that we're complying with the law. But that is the only significant change I'm aware of. I'd be happy to get those exact numbers for you, though, from SCRS.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I just would be interested, especially like what you're projecting, 3 years out, because I think that's something we need to be mindful of, as that's increasing across the board everywhere. What you see with retirement, what you see with insurance costs, as well as your IT costs, just for protection and servers. I don't speak IT language, but I saw some significant increases just to make sure that the city was protected with extra layers of security.
We do have both an internal cybersecurity team, as well as we work through DTEC, which is the county IT department. And all I can say is that we are very aware of the cybersecurity issues that are out there, and the threats and attacks that are happening. Not aware of a big budget increase in that area.
Okay, just would be good to see. Thank you.
Real quick, sorry, Matthew Doyle here. So there are some significant upticks in DTEC allocated costs for this year. And the cybersecurity is a critical issue, especially since we're identified as critical infrastructure. We've had to be creative. Our cybersecurity officer, or information security officer, has worked with a lot of the government entities, and there are some free services as being a part of that critical infrastructure that we're taking advantage of.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions at this point? No? Okay, this was a receive and file. Consider it received and filed. Thank you. All right. Any public comments on this item?
I did not receive any speaker request forms.
All right. In that case, we'll close the public comment opportunity and move on to item number 12, which is a resolution of intention to lien delinquent sewer service charges and set public hearing for July 10th, 2024. Mr. Banda.
Yes. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the board. My name is Tepa Banda, the Director of Finance. So this item, we bring this item every year around this time, where the district participates in the county's TITA plan to help us recover delinquent charges. So we're asking for the board to make that resolution for the district to have these delinquent charges or potential delinquent charges transferred to the property tax roll, and to set a hearing for July 10th, at which all those customers who have been informed of their delinquent status would have an opportunity to protest the charges if they have a reason to. Generally, we see a decrease once. So on April 27th, CABS, which is our billing agency for the county, they sent out notices to 18,969, so almost 19,000 customers. But by the time they actually transfer the charges to the tax roll, which happens somewhere in July and August, that number goes down. So a lot of people get prompted to pay off there. We generally see a decrease of about 5 million from the amount we notice folks. So we're asking for those three decisions today to make the resolution of intention to charge these to collect these delinquent charges, and ask the clerk of the board to advertise the public hearing and to set the public hearing for July 10th.
Okay, and that concludes the presentation.
That concludes my remarks. Thank you.
All right. Any member questions or comments at this point? No? Do we have any public comments on this item?
We do not have any speaker slips.
Okay, is there a motion to adopt the resolution of intention to levy these charges? Motion from Director Suen, second from Director Villegas. All those in favor say aye. 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 Anybody opposed? Anybody wish to abstain? Okay, that motion passes, and so the clerk would be sure to advertise this resolution of intention on June 7th and July 5th, and set a public hearing for July 10th at 9:30 in these chambers. Thank you.
If you could this isn't on, just move staff's recommendation so that we have a vote.
I thought I was covering all my bases.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, you did for the resolution, which is great, but we do need the rest of the board to act on the entire recommendation.
Move staff's recommendation.
Okay, motion from Director Suen. Is there a second? Second from Director Robles. All those in favor say aye. 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 We have belts and suspenders now. Thank you. On to item number 13 is the One District Quarterly Report for May 2024. Mr. Doyle?
Can I have the presentation up?
All right, good morning, Chair Hume and members of the board. I apologize once again. The wind and the pollen is killing me, so I have my water here. This is the second quarterly report for this year. We've had a lot of accomplishments since January 2024. We continue to focus on communications as it's absolutely critical to ensure that our key stakeholders are well informed. That includes both our internal staff and our external. So for our internal staff, we have the all popular GM videos, which depending on what the hot button topic is, we roll out that GM video. We also have been periodically conducting information sharing sessions. We just had 6 sessions at our various 3 main locations, including a virtual option, to go over all of the major approvals that have happened through your board. We also have the One District site, so online. We have the capabilities for staff to ask any questions and get those questions answered, and then those answers are posted in the FAQ section. And then finally, we have a listing of the various documents so they can review them. We have had a large uptick in the communications with the county and our REOs or unions. It's really to discuss all the major events that are happening, the overall transition, the benefits that were recently approved, the personnel policies, and then we also did request 2 side letters, one for kind of revising the layoff procedures, and then the other one was to allow the transfer of vacation and sick time and not require those to be cashed out. Then, of course, retirement is also very critical. We've made significant progress in that. We've identified the employer-employee retirement contribution rates. We've also have been meeting with SCRS and the county to draft a 3-party agreement, which will identify the assets and liabilities, and that is currently under review. Very exciting. We have the AB 2301, the Sac Sewer Pension Protection Act of 2024. That passed the assembly floor on April 15th, 75-0. So just to kind of refresh, the AB 2301 was written to ensure Sac Sewer employees will retain the same pension benefits they currently have with the county. It's now going to go be heard at the Senate committee sometime around probably June. So we've been busy, but your board has also been very busy. Here's a few of the policies and resolutions and the contracts that have been approved, or are actually 2 of them are approved today. So we have the Employee Benefits and CalPERS resolution, the DOJ resolution and contract with Capital LiveScan. That was approved by your board today. We have the employee policies, the compensation policy, the Gallagher compensation study contract, and the employee personnel policies that were all approved in March. Then we have the Alliant Broker for ancillary benefits contract. That is helping us to identify our vision, dental, 401A, EAP, and wellness. And then the Established Staffing Services and Support Special Committee was established. We also have a bank RFP that is ready to hit the street this Friday. So back in January at our first quarterly report, I mentioned the importance, and a lot of our resource and efforts are going to be focused on the administrative systems and that implementation of Tyler Technologies. That continues. We have the human capital management system, and just to refresh, that is basically the recruitment, the personnel management, payroll, the online benefits, employee self-service, and time entry. Currently, we're working on the custom development for the SCRS calculations to make sure that those are all correct before it gets inputted into our Tyler system. Next up, we have the finance management system, or FMS. That is the banking, accounts payable, accounts receivable, purchasing contracts management, project, grant accounting, and budget. Then we have the learning management system, which is going to be replacing our Meridian system that was recommended to us by Tyler Technologies. And then travel management company. So we currently use Concur through the county. We're looking to identify what system we're going to go to as far as approval process and support for staff for traveling. Next up, we have the process development and systems decommissioning. So we have a lot of homegrown legacy systems, and so at a certain point, we're really going to have to figure out when those get shut off and when those are going to transition to the new Tyler technology system. So we're kind of working the logical timeline for that. Speaking of timelines, that was a great transition. This is a rough timeline that we're working with. We talked about the human capital management system. That is such a large project that we've kind of broken it down into a few components. The HR module is the one that we're primarily focused on since the end of January to present, and it's on track to be completed in July. Then we have the employee access, which is scheduled for September, the benefits enrollment for October, and then time entry and payroll in December on or around before our separation date of 12/15. And then, exciting, we're anticipating our first paycheck 1/3/2025. Next up, we have the finance management system. It says January 1st in 2025. We anticipate that it's going to be ready before our separation of December 15th, but January 1st is when it absolutely drop dead needs to be ready, or it will cause some issues. So we anticipate to have that up and running before then, but we need to have it ready by January 1st, and we are on track for that. Learning management system. So this one is, it depends on how smoothly the HCM and the FMS work out, because those are our two main critical components to make sure that we're up and running, and we need those to be good to go by our separation date. The learning management system, we could kind of limp along. So it really depends on how well those implementations go. We anticipate that it'll go smoothly, and so we will have that hopefully on or around December 15th. And then finally, the travel management company, we're looking at a date of implementation of around October 2024. So there are services that we were going to continue with the county. We identified that early on through the consultant report. That has expanded a little bit. And we continue to have communications with the county as far as, hey, can you provide the service? And they're in agreement. Then we create an SLA. We have the planning and environmental review and customer billing and CUBS. Those are both completed. We have the IT DTEC agreement, which is ready to be signed and go through the approval process. We have the construction management inspection is under final draft review. We have the fueling services agreement and finance and treasury services under final review. The finance and treasury services SLA was pretty much ready. There's a few services that are going to continue, but we also identified the need to have some contingency plans in place. So if our ERP isn't ready, for Tyler Technologies isn't ready to take on the required functions, what are we going to do? And what is that timeline where there's enough time to enact our contingency plan? So we're working that out with the county. Hopefully we won't need it, but if we don't plan, it could be a problem. Legal counsel, that is going to your board fairly soon. Clerk of the board is fairly new. That's something that we just kind of started meeting with the county, and that is under draft review. So looking forward to May, August 2024, there's a lot going on. I would say that this is probably, I keep on saying this, it's probably one of the most pivotal times. I think I said that the last time, but there's so much going on, and it's such a complex effort. We're continuing to focus on the Tyler ERP implementation. We need to work with Alliant for our ancillary benefits and determine what our dental and vision and other benefits will be. It's important to staff. We also have our employee onboarding events, and this is referring to the event where staff will be having to sign a resignation letter from the county, and in that same packet, sign an offer letter from Sac Sewer. So originally, we were scheduled for June 2024. And as we started rolling out these information sharing sessions with staff, there was a little bit of anxiety that we felt that staff were wanting to saying that, hey, I have to sign this, but yet the AB 2301 was not signed yet officially from the Senate. So since they are going to be signing it in June, then we said, hey, let's go ahead and push that back to July, the second week of July, right after the 4th of July holiday. We made sure that we discussed this with the county to make sure that if there's the layoff procedures and make sure that there's enough time for the county, and they agreed that it was fine. We would not be able to push it off again, though. Let's see. We prepare for the benefits communications and open enrollment. So we have already communicated with Voya, with CalPERS Health, and with Alliant, and they have confirmed that they will be on site around September or October to help staff identify what benefits they should go to and answer any questions that they might have. And then finally, the salary schedule, that is coming to your board, I believe next board meeting, the 22nd. So that concludes my presentation. Is there any questions?
Fantastic, thank you.
You're welcome.
Director Soon.
Thank you, Chair. No questions, Matthew, but I just want to commend you and your team for all the work you're doing. It is incredibly complex, and all the employees and all of us up here, we may not work for SCRS, but we all have health insurance, and we know how much we rely upon it, and it's just not even a second thought. And to you make sure that this transition goes smoothly, and all the anxiety that might come with what's happening right now with all the employees, all the care you're taking to make sure that happens in a good manner. Just want to thank you for that work.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. Director Villegas.
Yeah, well said. I'm not going to say it again. Tremendous amount of work. It's been a huge lift. It's a little bit like the exercise that you do as kids when you're trading a piece of bubble gum for a piece of licorice. Really, you almost have to kind of like each grab it at the same time and agree that you're going to pull at the same time. And I joke about that, but there's truth to that because people's jobs are very sacred, and they're not interested in finding out that, oops, there was a mistake and that there was a lapse in whatever the case. So thank you for your diligence in making sure that transition is smooth.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get you a paycheck next pay period.
Don't worry about it. I have more licorice later. Yeah. I'll cover you there. Yeah.
Any questions from this side? No? All right. This was a receive and file as well. Thank you very much for the presentation. And unless there's anything else for the good of the order, I'm prepared to adjourn the meeting.
Chair
Yes.
Hume, one comment. I was corrected by staff. The Walk on the Wild Side is on May 18th, so it's next weekend, not
Okay,
this
thank
weekend.
you.
So that's Saturday.
I knew I was treading into unsure waters saying anything about my calendar without literally looking at it at the time. Let me call for
Understand.
public comments on that last time. Is there anybody wishing to address the separation? No. Okay, that's it. We stand adjourned at 10:19.